And I think they should introduce themselves as well.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yes.
My name's Aaron. I don't think I can stick around very long, but I'm a resident, live in 78 in Flavel and care deeply about safe transportation around the neighborhood for folks on foot or wheels.
Yeah, I'll jump in. My name is Jake Potosky. I am a resident at 72nd and Rural. I have to apologize. I am in Chicago for a work conference. I'm 2 hours ahead. We just finished up our last conference dinner of the trip. So I'm going to just tune in, be off camera, but I will certainly be tuning in and speak up as needed. Thanks for having me.
That's very good. Okay. All right. And we got Erin?
Did we get Elaine?
Elaine and Mark?
Markle.
I need
it's-
glasses.
Elaine and Marble.
I didn't know this was a vision test tonight.
Okay, Elaine, would you like to introduce yourself? What does it say, Elaine and what?
It says Markle. I think it might be an animal.
Oh, okay. All right, well, there's no response there, so we have Erin.
Maybe she said it quick for a second.
And Elaine.
Yes, I've written them down as you asked me to, Stephanie.
Oh, you did, okay, thank you. Okay, very fine, all right. Okay, very good, all right, so we've approved the agenda. I just want to say our bylaws ask that there be at least 5 members present in order for our general meeting to proceed, and we have probably four times that, so we have plenty of members. And so we do need the member quorum. Okay, and we did our introductions. Now, Matthew, would you explain to us how we should go about conducting these elections?
Yeah, I think for this, it's good to know what the terms are, right? A board position is a 1-year term, so this would be, right, June, starting end of June till, July, next meeting, basically. June through June, 1-year process. Anyways, any person who is, fits those criteria you had up, lives within the neighborhood boundaries, approximately Duke to the county line, and approximately sorry, I didn't look at it before I came in, 60th to Ace, no, that's not right. 45th, thank you.
82nd.
The 82nd. May nominate themselves for board service. If you live in the neighborhood, rent property, own a business, or have a business license. And there's additional criteria. But we can cross that bridge if necessary. So I think right now, what would make the most sense is to have people nominate candidates. And then once we have those amounts confirmed, do a motion to elect them as a slate of candidates to the board.
All right, but how do we do that? I mean, does should I call in each person and say, would you like to apply to join the BDNA board?
I think you would just open up to any nominations at this time.
But who would do the nominating?
People could
nominate themselves.
people can nominate themselves or somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we can just go around the circle. We can start at this end. Each of you who self-nominates, would you please tell us a little bit about what you would be interested in accomplishing, working on that would serve the neighborhoods through the BDNA boards. So would you like to go first?
Yeah, I would like to nominate myself for secretary, and to support, opening up the community center and, supporting other people in the neighborhood and so.
Thank you.
Well, per our previous conversation,
Yes.
can I nominate Katie even though she's not here?
Yes, or we can wait until, she said she might be here by 7, possibly,
Yeah.
right? And did you wanted to?
I was actually talking to Kylie about it because if Katie's gone, I'm gonna be gone too. So I thought maybe that Kylie would make a great secretary.
At this stage, it's not about board position, it's just about becoming a part of the board,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, but
That's not
I did ask
Yeah.
her what she would like to work on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
and she wanted to be secretary.
Mhm. That's fine.
Okay, so that's
Awesome.
great.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, like, entire membership will nominate the slate, assuming a vote in the majority. Once that happens, that board will then determine what positions they have.
Okay.
Outside the general membership, the way the bylaws are written.
Okay, so Kylie's nominating herself to the board then?
Right.
Yeah.
I would also like to nominate myself to the board, and my interest is in, community connection. I have a background in mental health, and I think that connecting people around you is very helpful.
Woo-hoo.
That's gonna help.
Oh, wonderful, okay.
I will not nominate myself.
That's fine, and you, when I met you the other day, you explained that being on-call volunteer now and then is, so later we will welcome you as an on-call volunteer. Thank you. I'd say ditto to that. Okay, all right, but is there a particular interest that you have in, would you with us or?
Well, yeah, I mean, am particularly interested in city politics and this charter reform and, an election and in particular how neighborhood associations are gonna work with the newly elected city council that's from our district. So I talked a little with Stephanie about what we could do to get to know them and build some sort of relationship.
Yes, and by my interjection, lovely idea. There are many candidates for city council. And she suggests we invite them all and have them sit at tables and people who live in the neighborhood can come and talk to them, go from table to table. So instead of a formal presentation as in a forum, this would be just very, very informal and I think quite productive. So that's a lovely idea. Okay, all right, I'm Stephanie Frederick and I will self-nominate for to be on the board. And my interests are very varied, but what I mainly want to see, I want to see BDNA thrive on behalf of the. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Kendall Palmer, and I'm also here just seeking information, not nominate myself to the board. To catch up, and
Oh,
I've
that's,
been on the board in the past. So I'm just curious where we're at.
oh, okay, very fine. Okay, thank you very much. And are
You will
you?
not be nominated, I will not nominate.
I'm gonna nominate you.
And if nominated, will not serve, yeah.
I'm currently a board member. My name is Derek and I self-nominate myself. I'll be a board member through August. We discussed this previously. Okay. Oh, my
Well,
interest-
your interests
I
are.
got the hat here.
Yeah.
That's, what is it, Portland Neighborhood Emergency Team. I just started getting into this. And also some grant writing. So in the future, I may be available after August for grant writing. I'm currently at that,
Wow, that's.
I'm actually taking some courses and, I actually applied for some positions too, but I don't have the technical writing background, so I'm busy trying to get that. So I'm kind of moving my career in that direction.
Wow. Okay, I'm making note of
Good,
this.
good, yeah.
So Kimberly DeLeo nominating myself to continue on the board. Interest would be seeing the community center kind of brought back, maybe with some upgrades. Bringing events to the neighborhood. More, I know Gail does a lot of, movies in the park. I'd love to see more activities that bring the community together. And safety,
And,
safety.
oh, safety, right, okay.
I don't enjoy the speeding on Duke, but anyway.
And we got bumps.
Only from 72nd to 82nd.
Yeah.
Right, it's not enough.
Or I won't let me drive down them because of the bumps, but.
And if anybody put the sloth on Duke, on the pole, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
The slow down song, they happen to put it right by my house, so I was like,
Made in Milwaukee store has those.
And what is it?
It's the slow down signs, it's a
With
local
the animal.
artist. Yeah, with the animal.
Oh.
I forget his name.
You can get them at the Made in Milwaukee.
Mike
store.
Bennett is the name of the
Yes,
artist.
yes.
We've had those for several years and people are supposed to be there.
So I'm Pam Hodge. I won't be running for the board at this time, but I am interested in serving as a board advisor when we get to that point in the agenda.
Again, I'm Monica Hammer Mo, just call me Mo. I also was previously on the board and have decided, I would just like to participate again, so I am nominating myself. The things I'm most concerned about, are the speeding, I live on Flavelle Drive. We do have bumps, it's nice, but they still speed. Now they just fly. But anyway, those are good things, though. My background is in law enforcement, security, and insurance. So those are the things, I think I know a little bit about. So those are the things I would like to try to help out in the, community. Hopefully we can try to make it safer in our community. So we feel safe in our homes. Thank you.
I'm not nominating myself.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. You're here and that's what's important. That's lovely. Thank you.
So I am currently on the board and I would like to nominate myself again. Even though I live, like I said, about a block north of Duke on 67. But what I'm really hoping to do is to collaborate a little bit, and increase the communication between what's going on at Lane Middle School, with the events. And I'd love for us to like start sharing space, sharing publicity, getting more family friendly events, and just knowing about what's going on. And I know that like if we were to try to use this space, we would have to have a board member here, right?
Not
Not necessarily?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
It's become much more complicated than I had
Okay.
envisioned, but,
Yeah,
I can explain later, but as long, if we, sponsor an event, we can open the door and just check in and
Okay.
leave. I mean, it can,
okay,
we can work things out. It just depends on what the nature of the event.
okay,
So we take them one by one and the board approves each event.
okay.
And so we know what's going on, or sometimes we haven't approved. but we still know
Anna,
what's
do you
going
have an affiliation with Lane?
Yeah, I'm, the PTA president.
Oh, great.
That goes there.
Thanks.
Yeah. So,
on. Okay, thank you, Anna. Tyler.
I'm also not nominating. Might be interested to help as an advisor. My interests are also in the city politics and the charter reform and following what's going on in there. And kind of just curious to get connected and see where I can help.
Okay, very fine. Okay,
And I am not running to be a part of the board. I am going to continue as an advisor. I feel that the amount of hours and time that I do contribute is still not quite enough to justify my involvement as an active board member. Because my view is a board member is pretty much work their bums off for our community. And I only have so much energy to contribute for that. Your turn.
I have all the time in the universe. I would like to nominate myself and Jake for the board. Cause I've been in the neighborhood for 7 years. I work at Lane. I'm the family resource navigator over there. So I do a lot of stuff for our families at Lane. Let's see, background in leadership.
I'd love to see you get some of the community classes, like the cooking with what you get from the food pantry, food boxes, garden shares. I mean, you come to the table with a lot.
So yeah, I would like to do classes over here. I would like it to be part of what we're doing with Sun. And Sun's gonna be doing more at Lane. We're gonna be doing more community classes. So like we already do classes for our kiddos, but we want to start doing more classes for the community, like financial literacy. Because we do have the food pantry, we want to start doing classes on like how to use the stuff in the food pantry. Because some of the items may be more challenging for folks, like masa. Or we get some like really cool grains in from Bob's Red Mill, and maybe people don't know how to like use them. And so I'd love to do some classes on that and really kind of be a liaison with Lane Middle School, because I think that we would love to have more community involvement, like when we have cleanup days and stuff like that. And then I'm a really big proponent. I do First Fridays at my house for my 3 or 4 blocks. And so we have everybody come over to my house the first Friday of the month and just kind of hang out and get to know your neighbors. And I would love for more little parts of the community to do that, because, you know, we're talking about safety and some of these other issues. And if you don't know your neighbors and your neighbors don't know you and you don't have each other's phone numbers, it's pretty hard to be safe. So I'd like to kind of grow what we're doing on Bybee and rural and have it expand more out to the whole community.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right, so I would like to speak up on behalf of Gail Kiley, that yes, she would like to continue on the board. And she's been she's been on the board for what, 30 years, I think, something like that. And she and her husband initiated the practice of summer movies in the park, which has now been adopted throughout the city of Portland. So anyway, she.
Yeah, I remember Gail being, like, when this building opened, she was part of the first batch of people through that door.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
She's the one who suggested including a living room
yeah,
and
A fireplace.
fireplace.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
I was living in the hood then.
Feel like I've been here for.
So Gail, and now Katie has still not.
No, she's actually doing a group and it's just,
All right, she gave me a statement
Great.
that I could read for her. All right, so. Okay, let me just. Got you. All right. All right, so there's a person named Katie Borovka who is interested in joining the board. And she gave me, she couldn't be here. She had hoped she could be, but it's not going to work out. So she gave me a statement to read for her. My name is Katie Borovka, and I am a sex and mental health therapist at a nonprofit and in private practice, an instructor at PSU. I've lived in Portland since 2010 and love it here. I want to feel more connected to the people I live and work near. As a member of the BDNA board, I'd like to serve our neighborhood by serving as the treasurer and supporting the basic board functions. I'd like to support efforts to create strengthened community connections and relationships and increase our neighborhood's resilience. Having regular gatherings at the community center of various kinds, dinners, game nights, skill shares, movie nights, and so on, would be exciting projects for me to help with. So that is Katie's statement, and so she also would like to try for the board.
That's 12.
And
then,
oh, yes, yes, and for the people who have joined us by Zoom, Jake Petoskey, how about you?
Thank you. Yes, I would like to second my own nomination. Thank you, Stephanie. I would really enjoy working on the technology side of things, particularly website development, website updates. I work with a WordPress web development company for my day job, so happy to share some time doing that with BDNA. I also am a big proponent of offline media as well, and or traditional media, just in the terms of meeting people everywhere that they're at and promoting events and information there. So I love to hop in on those kind of items. I currently serve on the board of the Portland Area Climbers Coalition. Prior to that, when I lived in Southern Oregon, I was the president of the Southwest Oregon Climbers Coalition. Not quite the same thing as a neighborhood association, but still I've worked with a lot of boards, understand board development and just board engagement. So I would really enjoy helping BDNA grow and do even more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jake. Much appreciated. All right, and who else is online?
Elaine,
Elaine,
Okay, Elaine, are you there?
I see something in the chat.
yeah, she said she couldn't unmute her phone mic, resident of BD since 2011, Portland resident since 2001. I do not nominate myself. I am not currently a BDNA member. Here to learn more about supporting community safety and small businesses also concerned about.
Speaking of that.
There it is. Oh, neighborhood livability.
not nominated.
Not nominating, okay. Okay, thank you very much, Elaine. And is there anyone else? No. It's hard for me to see. Okay, very fine. All right, did we encompass everyone?
Lisa?
That's wonderful.
No, I'm an
Oh, I'm
advisor
sorry,
and
Lisa.
I would like to
Okay.
continue being an advisor, but I do have a real interest in, being a liaison with, Northwest, the folks that live in the building here.
Northwest Impact.
Impact Northwest, there we
Right,
go.
Impact.
And, I'm the, assistant team lead for NET, and I'm always interested in, neighborhood emergency prep stuff. Hoping to get more people involved in emergency prep for the neighborhood.
All right, so you would like to continue as an advisor?
I would.
Okay, very fine.
Yeah, I wrote down 11 names. Did I miss somebody? Apparently. Do you have 12?
I have 12,
Oh, all right. Well, then I forgot somebody. It's all right. So is it,
I counted.
and that's assuming that the advisor roles is, you're not asking me at-large members.
right,
So that's how I got to 12. Kylie, Mara, Stephanie, Derek, Kim, Mo, Anna, Stephanie, and Jake. Gail, Katie, and that would be it.
You got Mara.
Yes.
do we have to vote on each person individually, or is it possible to say, I move that we accept this slate of applicants to the board?
I encourage doing it that way.
All right. I so move. If I may.
Okay, Gail and I second.
So you would have to see if there's discussion or call the question.
You need a third or a second?
No, but we would all need to vote, or you need, as the leader, you would say, do we need conversation or just
Okay,
call the vote?
Okay, please call the vote.
show of hands, what do you?
Yeah, you're in charge, not me. All in favor of adopting the slate of nominees?
The president can vote.
Yes.
If they so-
Everyone can vote,
This is a
Including
member
online.
meeting.
Yes.
including online.
Oh,
Jake
okay.
and Elaine, do you have a
Oh,
vote?
there's somebody, well, okay. Oh, yeah, I think I see somebody raising their arm.
that's right.
That's me.
That's all of us.
Okay. Okay, Jake says yes.
Yeah.
All right,
And he didn't put it, oh, he's got a thumbs up now.
all right. So
All right.
we haven't heard from Elaine, but otherwise,
And then any opposition, do you have to ask?
When I say yeah.
Does anyone vote against this?
Elaine says yes.
Elaine says yes.
So
All right, so it's unanimous.
Okay.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, many people said yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, everybody. This is fantastic.
so now it's like up to the board, to determine like who will be what position, like, the chair, the secretary, the treasurer, and now it'd just be a board vote from the current slate that's just elected.
Right, but first I wanted to, I would like the people who wish to continue as advisors or become advisors to raise their hands. Tina, Lisa, Pam. Okay, Tina, Lisa,
And-
Pam, and Tyler, okay.
Taylor.
Okay, so I move that we accept these 4 applicants as advisors to the BDNA boards.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. And then, okay, so I call the vote. All in favor? We're all, and there's no more voters. She's voting on this. Okay.
Do we need to specify what we're interested in advising on?
I know, not at this time. Okay. Maybe if we have a little more time later in the meeting, we could do that. I want to make sure that we get through everything here, but, yes, it's a good idea. Okay. Okay, so next on the agenda, is a welcome, from me to all on-call volunteers who may be present. I know that, Cynthia is one, and do we have any others who, would be interested in simply being called on now and then as well? Okay, and you're B, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, very fine. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Very fine. All right, well, I welcome you three. We'll be in touch and we'll call you. And if you can, if I give you a task that you can do and want to do, lovely. And if you don't have time or you hate it, then you just.
Do you two want to also be on the volunteer list?
I beg your pardon?
Behind you.
Oh, no,
You're like, no, we're here. We're here. Wait, sir.
No pressure.
They are observing this, that, all right.
Yeah.
I will ask everybody to volunteer. I have asked everybody to volunteer.
And I do think that's a fine thing to do, for all of these board members, include your neighbors.
Like,
Yeah.
It shouldn't fall on
I think
one
about the
person's
small
shoulders.
things. Hey, who's available to volunteer for blah, 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 when we did the.
Do you want to clarify that should candidates be interested beyond today, we can nominate them onto the board?
Oh, absolutely. We can, accept new members onto the board at any time of the year.
Yeah.
One by one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, yeah, absolutely. There's no difficulty with that at all. And I hope as the summer, as we move into summer, we may well do that.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim, for clarifying that. All right, so we've done, board members, advisors, volunteers. We'll go back to advisors in a bit. And as Pam suggested, hear what their specific interests are. But first, let's carry out the elections for board officers, chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. Okay. So how shall I best proceed with that?
If people have interest in position, we've already had a few people express interest. Go ahead and make it known, and then once we fill those core board positions, someone can motion to elect that slate as proposed.
Okay.
And that way, it's just one vote of the board members, I think, to be efficient. But if there's competing interest for a position, then we can have that discussion and figure that out.
Okay, so Kylie, you are interested in presenting for the secretary position, right? And you are interested in presenting for that treasurer, right? No, Katie is, I beg your pardon. Yeah, all right, okay. My notes are getting pretty out of control here, okay. So Katie is for treasurer. And I am going to present again for chair. Is anybody interested in presenting for vice chair? Which is a backup position. Sharing the responsibilities of the chair. Don't all stampede to this at once.
Could I ask a question, Stephanie?
Sure.
At one time you talked about planning to step down in the fall. Is that
Yes.
still the case?
It is. I plan to announce my resignation at the meeting in early September, and I'll work through September. And then I have to leave. But I was hoping over the summer, for example, I will be working with all of the new board members, treasurer, secretary, and so on, to make them comfortable in their roles and match up the people who want to do this, who have common interests and so on, and get everybody going. And now ideally, somebody would like to step into the vice chair position with the idea of becoming chair. It would be a good thing to do it now, because then there are several months of sharing.
Training, whatever.
Well,
share.
yes,
As a new board member, may I make the suggestion that we wait on those two positions until we kind of see how we mesh together as a group and really see who is taking a good leadership role so that we can vote on them to do it as opposed to someone just stepping up and doing it. Because I think a lot of times in leadership, it's important to have the people who make the most sense in that and not necessarily just the ones who want to do it.
Okay, but are you suggesting that there be no chair?
I think there could be a chair and maybe that person will be the obvious choice to move up. Or maybe once we get together as a group, we decide this person X is doing such a great job and they're really leading by example and they're being a good leader. Because I think sometimes when you have a group, especially a new group, you can have people who are not cohesive with the group. And if you put that person in charge, then that would be very dismantling of the group.
So we would elect the chair in August, right?
Well, we have to have a chair
All
now.
the work that's supposed to get done by a chair.
Yes, there has to be a
Well, no,
chair
so
now.
You're nominating yourself for the chair position
Yes.
now. So,
Right.
when you announce your resignation, when would we elect that chair position? And that would have to be a vote, right?
In August, when she resigns.
That mean August or September?
I'm going to, my plan is to, at the September meeting, just to resign with 4 weeks' notice or whatever.
So we need to elect a vice chair for sure.
Stephanie, can you,
But what is, okay, what,
can you provide like an overview of like the core functions, responsibilities you see the Brentwood Darlington chair providing? Like top 5.
okay, so I think there's a very big, there's a very large planning role, thinking about the neighborhood association and what it's capable of and exploring its strengths and weaknesses and doing a lot of thinking and plotting and working on trying to bring people together and trying to strengthen the organization. So that's one.
So one thing.
Side of it. Pardon?
A lot of dang forms.
A lot of dang forms.
Forms, lots of darn forms.
On paperwork.
Paperwork.
Oh, I see. There's some paperwork. Several reports that have to be done throughout the year for the Secretary of State and to the Department of Justice and to Southeast Uplift. I also feel the chair should know all the roles. So it's good for the chair to be familiar with the how to do the treasurer's role and how to do the secretary role. So that somebody becomes sick or whatever, chair can step in and make sure that things continue. The chair also represents the organization in public settings, does a lot of tabling, advocacy work, and there's also a good deal of just archiving and tracking documents and making sure that that we don't lose sight of important records. And let's see. I should have brought my chair job description, and then now my mind is blank.
The credit union, usually you're a signer along with the treasurer, so you go down to the, whoever that person is, or that.
Yeah, no, there's, yeah, we have the treasurer, sign on, with me, and then I'll sign off eventually when I resign.
Okay.
I also help with events and apply for grants. And, whatever.
Yes.
Yes, I write letters of support, lots of advocacy letters. I also respond to lots of emails that come into land use and to the board and into the neighborhood association in general.
I will say like a lot of these functions aren't necessarily stipulated in the bylaws. So I think a lot of responsibilities fall on your shoulders in this role, and they can be shared out amongst the membership. Like
Yes, if
specifically,
there are people to share it, absolutely.
like events and land use, for example. If someone's intimidated by what the chair does, a lot of this is above and beyond what the chair is typically required to do. And so if that is causing hesitancy to like step up for the role of chair, you know, chairs typically represent the nonprofit. They assign people to committees. they represent the neighborhood in its letters, advocacy. But you facilitate the meetings, you set the meeting agenda, and hopefully your association, your nonprofit, your colleagues help create the content, drive the recommendations and whatnot. So it's not just on the chair. And so if this sounds intimidating, I'm saying it does not need to have to be this way. And because this is a collaborative team effort.
Yeah.
That's a good statement. So, yeah, I've taken on a lot simply because we've been at a low ebb as far as board membership is concerned.
Yeah, a lot of that sounds like secretarial work with the archiving and some of that stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak out of turn here and say Stephanie has been the president, the secretary, and the treasurer, basically doing the work, most of the work of the board for the time that I've known her over the last year, so.
Right.
Really, that's not a good description of what it should be.
Right.
But with a board this size and with this diverse a group and with this so much energy, it's gonna be a completely different experience.
It should be more of a managerial
Yes.
role and more of a public representation.
Come on in, have a seat.
Katie, hi. Thank you. Come in, we already nominated you. Good job.
Also, just to clarify, I think what you were saying is not that she shouldn't be chair, that she should continue being chair, but we shouldn't nominate anyone else to take that role yet. I think that's what you're saying, right?
Oh, yeah, I would, thank you for
Yes.
I
clarifying.
think what it sounded like was, let's not have a chair right now. So I think what you meant was let
No,
she just
no,
continue
no,
to be chair,
let-
but let's wait on replacing her until we see who
But
steps up to
co-chair
take
would
that
be,
role, right?
a co-chair would be kind of handy.
Yeah, but I just
So
want to
if
clarify.
there's
that's
a
what
few
you
months
meant.
to give.
Yeah, sorry, thank you.
I think there was just a
No,
little bit
no,
of
no,
disconnect on that.
thank you for that clarification. 100%. Stephanie, you should continue on that position, but I think that now that we have such a robust board, which we haven't had, and you've had to do, like you were saying, all of this work on your shoulders, I think that spending the next few months kind of like figuring out, we've got someone who wants to be the treasurer, we've got someone who wants to be the secretary, nobody else who's want, so that's awesome, let's run with that, but I think leadership is so important that let's keep you as the leader, obviously not changing that, but let's kind of see who steps up, and if we want to nominate someone for the vice chair right now, awesome, but I still think that we should, as a group, say, I'm just gonna say Tina, but she's not doing it. Tina wants to be the vice chair, so now Tina's the vice chair, not really.
Okay.
Jessica is the vice chair and she'll be the vice chair, but then we're like, Jessica's got 4 kids, she's really busy, she's not able to spend as much time with the group as would be nice. So even though she's been in this position as vice chair for a while, we have somebody else that would maybe have more time to commit.
Would be a better fit.
And it would
for
be a
chair.
better fit for the actual chair, is what I'm trying to say, like. Let's not set in stone today what everybody's gonna be, let's kind of
Right.
figure out where people's skills lie so that we can have a stronger board. And so that we're not just shoving somebody into a box because today they said they wanted to do that and they don't know what it's gonna be like, any of these things, like, I think to have it stronger, let's do some norming, storming and forming and then move forward in positions that really make sense. You continue, obviously, and if someone else wants to be vice chair. Okay, great.
All right, so not a mutiny.
I'm not, so that, thank you, I was not trying to say a mutiny, even remotely, I was like, let's not decide everything today.
Yes, a mutiny would be all right. This is clear to me.
Yeah, membership can recall people.
Yes.
So there's a way to do that.
I'm not trying to.
I just,
Yeah.
I think it's important that we elect a vice chair today, but that does not mean that that person is absolutely gonna become the
Right.
chair, right? But somebody that has an interest in it is someone who might, and then at that point, then we have an election.
Yep,
and-
absolutely.
And we figure it
That
out,
works great for me.
But-
Sorry, I'm not trying to.
but it's a good way to find out what it might be like to be the chair.
Yes.
All right, is there anyone amongst us who wishes to self-nominate as vice chair? So we ran that question once, and I said, don't everyone stampede? And it's still the same stampede, right? So,
So far,
okay, well, all right, well, then maybe we don't have that position filled at the moment. Why don't we just?
wait, maybe we have somebody.
I can do it for the interim time.
Fabulous.
Okay,
You're the treasurer, right?
no.
She's the.
No, no.
And were you elected to the board?
No, yes. You know us.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not-
or do we need to officially do it, yeah?
Yeah.
Official.
I move that we approve this slate of board people. I'm not on the board, so I probably can't say that, but
Okay, so wait, but so,
You just needed another board member.
Wait, no, I.
No.
Yeah, she already did.
Okay.
She's on the board.
No,
She's
I
stepping up.
nominated, so I'm on board. Kylie self-nominated to secretary, Katie self-nominated to treasurer.
Okay, and
I
you're
self-nominated to nothing until now.
Oh,
Vice chair.
right there.
Vice chair.
vice chair.
Oh,
Okay.
I know, right?
Great.
This is so encouraging. I might want to be on the board after all.
that's wonderful.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
All right,
well,
so you just made a motion that we,
accept this slate of candidates.
and the slate again is
Or
Stephanie chair, Mara vice chair, Katie treasurer, and Kylie secretary. Is that right?
Correct. Would anybody like to second?
I'll second.
All right, do I hear any dissent or unhappiness with this measure?
And to show hands. yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, show of hands.
All in favor, then?
Yeah, I was like, are you just thinking?
Like, show hands.
Bye, bye,
All right, this motion is adopted. All right, very fine. Okay, so I would like to, say that, starting next week, I will be reaching out to all of you on the board, and in particular, the people in the new, who are newly in office to get you going on your particular work or on projects, things that you were interested in, for example, be nice to have you connect with Jake and the two of you begin working on, MailChimp and the newsletter and what WordPress and so on, so that's fabulous. So I will, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for stepping up.
And I'll
yes.
deliver some officer orientation packets to help just familiarize yourself, and it's some general recommendations. You're your own sovereign, independent nonprofit, so you can do what you like. But this is our recommendations about what the chair should do, what the treasurer should do, and secretary. So I'll deliver that to Stephanie. You can distribute that at the
Okay,
next
but
meeting.
I want to introduce things a little more gradually than your packets.
Oh, sure. We'll be there for your reference.
Could I suggest that everybody that's now on the board write down name, phone number, email on a piece of paper and have somebody who's not Stephanie type it up?
Here, I've got
Wait, I think I have everybody except
You have all the card.
for B, because I have interviewed everybody and I have,
But then that means you're gonna have to type it and coordinate it. Why don't we have one list so you don't have to do it? How's that?
well, it's just gonna be kind of haze. Thank you.
My role as an advisor has been to
Yes,
try to
that's
keep
her.
Stephanie from doing everybody else's job.
Yeah, all right, no, that's true, she's constantly telling me, yes, somebody else should be doing this.
If we all signed in, we could just put like a B next to all the board members.
Right, but if everybody has their email and their phone number on there, then it's done. So I'll pass it around again.
Okay, all right, thank you, Lisa.
I'm sorry, can you tell me your name again?
Mara.
Mara, nice to meet you, Kim.
Okay, all right, so, we're doing pretty well on time, maybe we could quickly, let's see, I would like to do my special tribute, and then maybe we could quickly visit the, advisor roles. Okay, so hold on just 1 second. Let me get, all right. Okay, so the tribute I wish to make is to Tina Bjornstad Zafransky for the work she has done on 3 spring greens. 2019, 2023 and 2024. And I just want to go over real fast what's involved and what I saw her doing with each one. First, she conceived the whole idea herself. She set the goal, the theme. She picked a major vendor and then added vendors to cluster around that anchor. She specified and estimated all the costs and prepared a budget, which is incredibly accurate. For 2 years, I applied for a grant based on the budget and we were just like, what?
We were always dead on,
It was
like
almost-
within $5.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And she even went to grocery outlet this last time and made a snack list of healthy snacks.
And accounted for inflation.
Yes, and okay, so, and you chose a date and then you made sure that somebody on the BDNA board got the place reserved. You specified and prioritized all the tasks, you created all of the publicity, was a gigantic job. It was huge. She created 12 different posts for, just for MailChimp, posts for our website, and then posts for, Nextdoor, Neighbors Connected,
All the social media.
everything, yeah, it was amazing. You drafted the basic press release, and you specified, the basic list of recipients. You worked closely with the chair and with other people on the board. You followed up continually to make sure that tasks were being done, and then at the event itself, you circulated nonstop, making sure that everything was going right. And at the same time, also encouraging people you met to consider joining our board. So which I really appreciate.
I got 19,000 steps in while we were done at this time.
So anyway, I just wanted to call attention to how much work went into making our recycling event. It's a huge success. And I thank you so much, and I just think you're.
So if any more travel wants to head it up next year, I'll make for you, because I'm not doing it.
And I would add to that she's also got fabulous records, because I told Tina that I would take it over next year unless some board member would like to.
Okay.
But she's got astounding spreadsheets of everything you would ever need to know. So it would be easy to take it on.
And I'm putting together, from my point of view, on our side, an internal report that will also be helpful. So
Great.
I think I hate to see it go away because it's such.
It's not gonna go away.
event.
It's a great
Thank
event.
you, thank you very much, Lisa. All right, okay, so that was my tribute, and thank you very much.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's hear from our advisors what they want to work on. Tina.
Continue with the garden tips and crafting circles can get community come, have a relaxed studying for connecting classes, workshops, utilizing the space, heading up the book club that is sponsored by the BDNA in the fireside room. Yeah, that's my energy.
Okay, very fine, thank you. And how about you, Lisa? In addition to lecturing me?
I see it more as coaching, but in any case, yeah, I've been working to recruit people to do stuff here at the community center, gotten a few people to hold events here recently, and I hope to do a lot more of that, and I'm glad there's more energy around that. And I hope to get more people engaged in community emergency preparedness. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm so excited by seeing this group of folks stepping up that it almost makes me ready to join the board, but maybe later. We'll wait till I cool down and see. But you know, those are my interests, and connecting with Lane and with the, you know, resources. I'd like to see us do food distribution here. I'd like to see us do stuff that, you know, to fill in whatever gaps there are.
Well, we have a food pantry for every Tuesday.
Right. Is that for everybody in the community or just the
yeah.
school? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, it's for everybody. I
Okay.
post it on the Facebook page all the time.
Okay.
Not every week, but
Mhm.
yeah, no, the food pantry, every Tuesday. It's just right across there. It's
Mhm.
from 2:30 to 4, and it is for everybody in the community. It's not just for Lanes.
That's great.
Put that sort of.
But yeah, I'd like to,
The newsletter. If not, could it be featured in the newsletter and?
Well, needs to be.
yeah, so anyway, I'd just like to see a lot more events here, family events, get the community in here, meeting each other and doing stuff and all that groovy stuff.
So you just held a very successful party.
Yeah, it was a small thing, but, so, and you know, anytime somebody posts on Facebook, oh, I wanna have this event, I say, why don't we do it here? And so some folks have been doing it here, but everybody asks, what does it cost? And the answer is, it does not cost if you're not doing it for profit. And I think we need to publicize that more. that-
I.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely, and make the forms
Mhm,
available at the website so
Mhm.
people can apply.
yeah.
And then, okay, so Tyler, can you reprise what you told us? beginning?
Sure, I'm kind of naive to what goes on here, so I'm just trying to learn. But I,
So wait, what do you want to bring?
yeah, no, I get it. I'm a software developer by day, so I'm interested in helping with website and anything that people would like help with. I'd love to learn more about net too. I've been aware of it for far too long, but haven't been involved. And yeah, just kind of curious to learn and see where I can learn and help.
Cool.
Okay, thank you very much, Tyler. And Pam, what would you like to do?
Yes, for those of you who don't know, for the last 3 years, I've served on the Citizens Advisory Committee for the city on the formation of the Lower Southeast Pricing Area Plan, which I'm happy to say was adopted by the city council just this afternoon. Last week, I testified before the city council in favor of the adoption, and I urged the city council to pay particular attention to community stabilization measures. That includes repurposing of this facility as a resiliency hub, and also to pursue creative financing for implementation of the land use and transportation policies contained in the plan, such as the formation of a tax increment financing district or a prosperity initiative designation, or funding through the clean energy fund that the city has, a variety of things. And so, having spent 3 years trying to encourage the passage of this plan, I'd like to stay involved in its implementation. So I suggest a role as sort of a liaison on that particular issue, reporting to the board.
That sounds good.
Mhm.
I think that is, I think it's extremely
Quality
work for us, yeah.
Really.
Okay, so, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate those of you who have stepped up to be advisors and all the people who have stepped up to be board members. This is fantastic. I think that BDNA can do so much for the community. And we just have people here working, so this is great. Thank you so much.
I have one question.
Oh, please.
We have these small business owners here. Can we just quickly, can we know who they are, what their businesses are?
Sure, yeah. Okay, why don't you go?
I'm with BC, by the way.
Oh, I
BC.
can-
Yeah, it's okay, it looks like I know a bunch of E's.
No, I see
it. Yeah, I have a business for myself. I actually teach movements, Franklin Method balance and agility movement class on Zoom. I also teach the Woodstock Community Center. Yeah, so that's my business. Yoga and movement.
Oh, wonderful, okay. And, we have, yes.
I do automotive repair. I'm a Honda Toyota specialist, and I just started a equipment dealership job and now work from home exclusively.
Ooh,
See, this is helpful information. Yeah, this is very helpful information. I'm so glad.
What's the name of your business? What's the name of your business?
Sins Auto,
Sins, S-I-N-S?
CYN.
Oh, C.
Okay, that's awesome.
Can we advertise that on Facebook?
Because, I have a 77 dogs that needs help.
It's my
We do highlight businesses in the area.
Yeah, and so far I just do word of mouth and I like chase people referral, you know, I haven't done, like, it's just me. So I haven't done any like blasting media and anything like that. I don't do any advertising.
Yeah, we can invite each of you to make a little presentation and in our forum called Exploring Belvedere. And then after that, we do a takeaway toward the end.
But before we do that, can I get on your calendar?
Yeah, yeah, right.
You get too busy,
Yeah.
let's you know.
Right.
Internally
Let's
network.
just internally for a moment.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. No, that was good. Yes, Bob.
So also, I'm a licensed private investigator. Say I look into things and I especially like to help out folks. I have during the pandemic and times, people couldn't get an attorney. There's a lot I can look into and find out about things without, you know, having to go there. Anyway, I just want to let people know, and I like to help out, especially seniors and women. Sometimes don't get a break, or a lot. So I just want to put that out there.
But you can find out things. I look into things.
You're a BDNA hit person, I love it. Oh, tell me what you know about Tyler. I'm just kidding. I think you're my neighbor, kitty corner. I think we share a corner fence.
Right, 62nd and Duke?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I'll have to-
Yeah. I just put it together. I was like, oh, I think he's that cool guy, you and your wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we had this cool neighbor we never really see.
See, you need to have First Fridays, it's the
We
best,
do.
you get your neighbors, have a little get together.
Yeah.
Knock on every doors, have everybody come over at 6 every first Friday.
I need a translator.
Oh,
Because I think the last time I saw you, there was a tree that fell on the fence line.
Yeah.
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 The jumping on her.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I like that first one.
I also drive my neighbors with eggs.
Okay, let's, this is all great stuff. Now we have to do some business. We need to approve minutes of April 2024. Derek left, but that leaves me, Gail, and you, and Anna, right, who can approve the minutes. So, I move that and supposedly you've read them. You don't need to say,
Yeah.
you don't need to tell me. I move that we approve the minutes of April 2024. That's there are two sets of minutes, one for the general meeting, one for the board.
One second.
Thank you. All right, and okay, do I hear any argument? any criticism? All right, fine. All right, so I guess I could ask. In the past, I've just said if I hear no dissent, then I assume that they're acceptable. So I'm just gonna do that with the minutes. All right, so as part of the minutes, I just wanted to reiterate what our plan is for the summer. We're gonna be working all summer, but we'll have a meeting in June. We're gonna skip July. We're gonna meet in August. We'll meet in September. And October, November, and probably not, we'll probably skip December. So don't count on a meeting in July. Okay, so now we have to consider an application for use of the community center here by Chris Gustafson. Is that something that you can share screen on and okay, thank you very much on that.
I think, yeah.
All right, so I'll,
She is. I can't read the writing.
she works with the Woodstock Food Pantry. Chris Gustafson.
Would you like me to read it or?
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so, let's see. Neighbors will bring the title of the event is Ballot Curious, neighbors talking about the primary ballot. Neighbors will bring their ballots and any information they have about candidates and ballot measures. We will respectfully share our ideas. I'm a retired middle school teacher, pretty good at creating positive learning environments. And the proposal has the potential to make us all better educated as voters, get to know our neighbors better, and I did talk to Chris about this, and she has done this in the past. Sounds like a great idea.
This, to me, it's just like an ideal use of the community center. It is it's rising out of the community and involves our residents. And it's going to be tremendously helpful. Struggling with those ballots alone is not fun. And I already asked Russell if we could have that evening, and it's on. So I would like the board, all of the new members of the board, I move that we co-sponsor this event. And that means that they get to use of the community center under our sponsorship, and our liability insurance extends to them, so that if somebody's hit by a falling beam or something, they're not and being financially afflicted. And then also we will advertise this and get a big crowd in. Maybe we should have something to eat on the side or something, some snacks, something fun. And okay, all right. So I move that we approve this application for use of the BDCC and the coverage by our liability insurance.
Second.
Okay. So do I have a second?
Me too.
Oh, that's Stephanie, okay.
By the way, Southeast Uplift provides that insurance. I feel like sometimes I don't communicate that connection very well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We really value
We
that tremendously.
buy that for all the neighborhood associations in the district, so per unit, it's like a much cheaper rate than you as an organization can buy it yourself, because we get a bulk rate discount.
Yeah, that's fun.
I'm sorry, I should have.
Oh, no, that's on us to make that there known.
Kevin, do you wanna,
You want to move
Oh,
on?
it's okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, we have. Get all my little guys. All right, so we have, okay, so we have a second, I guess I'll go back to the old way of voting. All in favor, raise your hand, please. This is just all board members. Okay, so that looks unanimous. All right, very fine. I will inform Chris that her event is on, and I may reach out to you all for some ideas for and maybe some just some snacks for the meeting.
I think May 15th was the date, is that right?
I beg your pardon?
May 15th, was that the proposed
That's a,
date?
It is May 15th from 6:45 to 9, right here in this room. Okay, this is fantastic. This is very exciting. All right. Then, Lisa and I have talked about holding a little event on the afternoon of Saturday, Saturday, the 18th of May. It would just be to invite people from the neighborhood to come in and see the building, hear some music, eat some snacks, maybe play a game or two, and maybe children would be welcome. And the idea is to start acquainting people with the existence of this building, let them know how to apply for use of the building. If they charge people for their programs, then they need to apply directly to Impact Northwest. But if not, if it's a community-based organization, then they can apply to us, and we have some evening hours that we can give away, but we also can apply to Impact Northwest. They have openings on their calendar, then we can use that time free or the organization that we co-sponsor. So I'd like us to approve this now, even though it's only in the earliest of planning stages, so that we can just proceed with it. I asked Russell, he's the facilities supervisor, if we could have that afternoon, and it's a go.
Who else on the board would be interested in working on this?
This would be a very easy event.
Yeah, this is like a little
Come
party.
up with some music, come up with some snacks. I can ask this Lydia here, and in fact, Northwest, she's good at children's games.
Well, that was my question.
Oh.
Do we have any like games for kids and maybe we invest? They're not probably super pricey, but you know how they have the big Connect Four that you can play. Some people call it cornhole, whatever, kid games. my daughter's 27, so somebody might have to help me out with games, but,
You want like yard games?
right, like something
That's a
is,
good question. Does the board have it?
right, do we have
Yeah,
it, some, should we allocate a small amount to get some? I don't know, just a thought. We don't have to answer that now.
We might be able to borrow them though.
See if.
Yeah.
Anything that-
Yeah, let's see if we can borrow them. So is there anybody else that would be willing to participate in the planning of this event? And the
Hi, this is,
execution?
yeah, this is Jake. I'd love to.
Fabulous.
Oh, okay, wonderful, all right.
Yeah.
No, having sons.
Oh, he's in a band.
Yes.
Yeah, you just need to let me know. Okay, so, we can provide the speakers and all of that, I think, music, we can determine, because he is, in the phone. That's not everybody's forte.
Okay.
There's other people in the neighborhood that are
Yes.
musicians. We'll find.
We've
somebody.
got amps and.
I got
whatnot.
some contacts.
Yeah. I mean, his band would probably be happy to play a gig, but.
Yeah, no, I wasn't,
You know.
I wasn't necessarily thinking of live
The
music, but,
self-assessment provide
there's
BDNA.
something coming out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could totally pick a playlist, Apple Music or
Playlist,
whatever.
that'd be great, I don't know how to do that, so.
I would just probably want help with age appropriate music. Again, I've been a mom of an adult for a very long time. My playlist might not be appropriate for your children.
When we have stuff for the school, sometimes the playlists are not.
You're gonna get everything from Zeppelin through the 80s, 90s to rap and all that, yeah. I love music.
Oh,
There's a wide array on there.
all right, well, so you.
But yeah, we'll bring those speakers for sure.
And some playlists or no? Yes or no? Who has playlists?
Why don't we talk about this outside of the
Yeah,
meeting?
yeah, we can plan it. I can help, but.
I'm sure there's somebody that.
Okay, so we got 4 of us on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
awesome.
well, all right, well, I think maybe having this event in May and at least one more in the summer, in addition to advertising and getting people to carry out their special projects like this ballot thing. I think it's a lovely idea. So I think we'll just start pushing use of the BDCC. And again, in August too, we could think about organizing a National Night Out celebration. We haven't, there was some famous one a few years back that people still talk about. And Gail will be here and she can cook her hot dogs. That's what people remember.
Do you have about a time on that day for the 18th? Or anything you've got tentatively?
Let's see, I think it would probably be from 12:30. With the span we have is 12:30 to 5, but we might have one to be a little shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, Tina, we did Spring Green in 3 hours and that was a really good amount of time. We don't want it to be too long. Sure. So maybe 1 to 4 or something like that. Right. Just guessing, yeah, okay. All right, so, I can't even remember that. Did we officially approve this? Yes. Okay, thank you. All right. And my brain is failing. Okay, I think that is it unless, in the sign up sheets, did anyone ask for any item to be brought up tonight? There was a little column for that, if you wanted to add something to the agenda.
I did not add anything to that. I can, but I wanted to share a few dates about things that we've got going on at Lee.
Oh, please, go ahead.
So, so Monday is, or actually Saturday, 2 days from now, is our pancake breakfast for incoming 5th grader families. I don't know if we want to share that with families. And then Monday is our PTA meeting. With Thursday, there is going to be an event at the school on the lawn here that is for all families in the neighborhood. There'll be free food, games, like cornhole, things like that. It's being put on by the health and nutrition services.
Yeah, I just found out about that.
Yeah, I did too. They, yeah, they sent it to us this week after we
So,
asked.
oh, just a reminder, and I'm like.
Yeah. So, so I have the contact, they've asked us if we wanna have a table for the PTA, I can't do it. But they've also asked for people to help them set up, there should be celebration, games on the lawn. They're planning it, it's through PPS, not Lane, and through the health and, I think is it Kaiser
Kaiser, yeah.
as well, so they'll be here. Free dinner, and then, we've got I guess we've got a multicultural night, for families at Lane on the 23rd of May. And then, have you heard about that? Yep.
No.
No, okay. All right.
I'm only the calendar resource navigator, you never tell me anything.
So this is our first year of being a PTA at Lane, and we have new admin and we have, so, and we're still bringing back a lot of events that haven't happened since before the pandemic. So we don't have a really great master calendar yet. Then, the one thing that I think BDNA, might be really interested in, remember how we did the Solve cleanup? We cleaned up Harney Park, I think back in, was that September or October? We're gonna, Teach is going to a community volunteer. She's organizing, she and I are talking about having another Solve cleanup on June 1st in the afternoon. And we would start probably here and go around. And I think that might be something that, Lane PTA will be involved with, and then if BDNA wanted to advertise, show up, I mean.
I'd be happy to help out with that.
That'd be great,
I'd volunteer for
yeah,
that.
okay,
That's up my alley.
so.
That event that's for all families in the neighborhood, could we get that? to
The
send-
one on Thursday?
Could we get that to send out on our email?
Yeah, I can even send you the flyer, that we just got this week.
Send that to me too. I'll put it on.
I feel like I just, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jake, looks like you have your hand up and we're not paying attention.
I think that might have been left over from a vote.
Yep, I
Okay.
apologize. There we go.
I'm sorry, what time did you say Thursday? Is that in the afternoon for this coming up Thursday?
For Thursday for the families, let me just.
Stephanie, can we send that out on our mailing list?
I can send it to you.
Stephanie, did you hear me? I'm sorry. Could we send that out on our mailing list, the Thursday event for all families in
Yeah.
the neighborhood?
Yeah, so it's 5 to 7, and, yeah, and we have flyers, being done by Portland Public Schools, Kaiser, and I can't read the other one. Yeah, so there's flyers and they're offering free dinner, lawn games, music, swag bags for students and folks from community organizations to provide information and resources to families.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Can you, Anna, can you send me the flyers and then
Yeah.
I will send them to our new council.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jake and Tyler will put them on the website.
Yeah. That would be great. So-
That'd be great.
Okay, very fine. All right, is there any other business that you would like to bring up at this time?
We have a sign sheet.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask like permission of the new board members. Congratulations, by the way, community doesn't happen without volunteers. And so, ask for help and here Southeast Upload, we're to help support you in this role. We do produce a monthly newsletter for the Neighbor Association board officers. So with your permission, I would like to add you to that email list. You can always unsubscribe and configure as you'd like, but if that's okay, I'll go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we get a lot of help from Southeast Upload, especially insurance.
Yeah, we provide general liability insurance to Brentwood Darlington, and directors and officers insurance to your board, so you can advocate for the best here in community without that fear of a lawsuit targeting you as an individual, be you as Brentwood Darlington Neighborhood Association. Have a little extra legal shield there.
No, that's right. Yeah, thank you very much. Do you know how things are looking as far as the budget, city budget is concerned?
Yeah, the city did approve a spring bump add $150,000 to the district coalitions. So I think that's divided by all four. So it doesn't address the gap from last year, but it does go a long ways towards reducing how much of a cut it's been.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about the neighborhood associations system falling apart at this time.
No, and I don't think it ever will. I don't think the city council wants that to be their legacy.
Okay,
So, maybe just briefly summarize the issue.
oh, I'm sorry, under the new city government, let me back up a little bit. There are 95 neighborhood associations in Portland, and they're divided into groups, and each group is overseen by a nonprofit or by a city staffed office, right? Is that East Portland? With the new government coming on, there were 6 districts, right? It was coalesced into 4.
There's 7, and then the current configuration contract from the city is to align the 4 voting districts with 4 nonprofits, being that the city cannot provide fiscal sponsorship, the city cannot provide insurance to groups, and so they went with the nonprofit model to provide those services.
Okay, and Southeast Uplift, which is our oversight agency, is a nonprofit. So it has acquired more neighborhood associations to oversee, which means more work for their staff. And, but the budgets were cut at the same time. And so, about a month and a half ago, I mean, it looked really bleak. Looks very bad, right? Nancy was to us saying, oh, you've got to tell the city council that this isn't gonna work. And but now things still are a little better.
It's a significant cut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Like a third.
$160,000 reduction from the year prior. So that's like 2.5 FTE. And then cuts all around, like in communication funds, how much your neighborhood gets in funds to provide communications. And we're even looking at potentially dropping directors and officers. That's how severe the cuts were.
And that would have meant we had to stop because we dare not operate without insurance, DNO insurance directors and officers. Because if somebody decides to sue us because we didn't follow the bylaws for something, then we're really in trouble without that insurance.
So with the current contribution, what is the net loss from last year?
Have to do the math on that. But I could follow up to that question.
Yeah, just curious, because that's one area. I've been just waiting for like the media outlets to kind of take this up, to kind of gain public support, to pressure the government to, because they have, millions of dollar budget and they're kind of going after a neighborhood coalition for a couple $100,000. It's crazy.
I suppose if someone wanted to contact, let's say, one of the papers, they're free to do so.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only reason
I'm not saying you should.
I wouldn't go is our hitman for the group. We've already. I was gonna kind of drop it, but I thought, well, I knew there was a meeting and I know Nancy was gonna meet with the mayor's office, but
We meet with them regularly.
yeah, that's just absurd. Anyway.
Okay, well, but this is better news than what we had a few weeks ago, so.
Yes.
I'm really glad to hear that. We don't have to think about shutting down shop then. Okay, great. Okay, well, with that, I call the meeting to a close. I want to thank all of you for stepping up to help us in all these different kinds of ways. Do not feel anxious about any roles that you're gonna take on. We'll explain things gradually and see the aim will be minimized. And the fun will be maximized. It's actually very rewarding to work for the neighborhood association. And so, I think that you'll like it. And our volunteers and our advisors will also. So thank you again. I'll be in touch and, you all have my email address now, so you can be in touch with me. But let's go, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll start working on, our celebration. We're here for the 18th, just, you know, somebody provides a little here and something else over there and so on, then it all works, so. Okay, that's very good, thank you so much. Thank you. I think there's a
And if you're so kind, please hold staff here.